Overwatch is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played, yet I always find myself coming back to play it. This game has made me rage so hard, but also provided me with some of the most memorable moments in any multiplayer game. So I started wondering, why do I keep coming back? And then I realized, no other multiplayer game captures the Overwatch feel. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 reasons why I can't stop playing Overwatch. The first thing I love about Overwatch is the learning curve of the game. Overwatch is so easy to understand at a basic level, but it's really difficult to truly master. You can pick up a character and you can understand what they do pretty quickly, which makes trying out new heroes lots of fun. For example, take Ana. Anyone could pick Ana and heal their teammates, but you can immediately tell the difference between an average Ana player and a really good Ana player, based on their positioning and cooldown usage. A good Ana knows positioning, cooldown management, when to be aggressive, when to save a sleep dart, and when to anti the enemy team versus use a nade defensively. There are so many layers to every hero in this game. And that's what keeps the game rewarding for me. I always feel like there's something new to learn or improve at. Even after hundreds of hours, there's lots of moments where I realize I made a mistake or I could have approached a fight differently. And I think that learning curve is one of the biggest reasons Overwatch has maintained such a dedicated player base for so long. When the game rewards you for growing as a player, it will make more players want to invest time into that game. The next thing I really love is the perk and the passive system. As someone who loves RPG games, the perk system instantly clicked with me, because it reminds me a lot of skill trees or class customization in RPGs. I love that you can pick the same character as someone else on the enemy team, but depending on the perks you choose, your playstyle can end up feeling completely different. It adds another layer of player expression, which Overwatch has always been really good at. And I also think it helps smooth out some balance issues, because now heroes can adapt differently depending on the situation or player preference. The passive system is also something I really enjoy, because it helps separate the identities of the different roles and sub-roles even more. Every role feels distinct and has its own strengths, which helps diversify playstyles throughout the matches. It just adds more freedom to the game overall, and I'm always a fan of games that gives players more ways to customize how they play. The fourth thing I love about Overwatch is the ultimate abilities. I genuinely think Overwatch has some of the most satisfying abilities and ultimates in any multiplayer game I've played. Now obviously not every ult is equally fun or equally balanced, but overall the game does an amazing job at creating impactful moments through ults. For me personally, one of my favorite characters to play is Zenyatta. Zen is such a rewarding character because he's a high risk, high reward. He can absolutely carry games with good aim and game sense, but if your positioning is bad, you get punished immediately. And his ultimate, Transcendence, is one of the biggest reasons I love playing him in Overwatch. There's just something so satisfying about perfectly timing a Transcendence to deny a huge enemy ult. Saving your team from a Grav Dragon combo or countering a big ult push feels amazing, because you know your single decision completely changed the outcome of the fight. Now before I get to my number one thing, I also want to give an honorable mention to the variety of game modes in Overwatch. I really love arcade modes like Mystery Heroes and No Limits, because sometimes I just want to take a break from competitive while still enjoying the core gameplay of Overwatch. And I think that variety is one of the reasons why the game stays fresh and fun for me, even though I've been playing for so many years. But the biggest thing for me recently has been Stadium. As someone who already loves RPG systems, Stadium instantly became one of my favorite additions to Overwatch because it genuinely feels like Blizzard combined Overwatch with RPG mechanics. The skill trees and upgrade systems add so much depth and customization. And on top of that, you have the money system, where you buy items and adapt your build throughout the match. And this adds another strategic layer. It makes every game feel different depending on which builds players choose. It's such a unique mode, and I'm really thankful that the devs were willing to try something new. Since we're on the topic of alternate game modes, I want to give a quick shout out to 6v6. I personally am a 6v6 enjoyer, and I prefer it to 5v5, but that's a topic for a different video. I love how Overwatch gives players like me a way to experience 6v6 again, even if it isn't the default game mode anymore. Overall, I think Overwatch has done a really good job expanding the game into different experiences, so there's a game mode for almost anyone to enjoy. But finally, the number one thing I love about Overwatch is honestly the chaos. And I know that sounds weird, because the chaos is also one of the most frustrating things about the game. But to me, this is what keeps the game exciting. Every match feels unpredictable because your teammates can do the weirdest things imaginable. One game, you get completely rolled. In the next game, you barely clutch out a win in overtime. No two matches ever feel the same, and coming from someone who mainly plays RPGs, that unpredictability is refreshing. In a single player game, even if you replay it, eventually you start understanding exactly what's going to happen. But in Overwatch, every single game creates new situations, new strategies, and new mistakes. And because of that, I constantly feel like I'm learning. Sometimes the enemy team does something strange, and instead of just getting annoyed, I think to myself, wait, that was actually kind of smart. And then later, I might adapt that strategy into my own games. The chaos keeps the game fresh. And obviously, the game can become frustrating sometimes. Balance issues can exist, and bad metas and losing streaks happen. But overall, as long as the game keeps getting updates, experimenting with new ideas, and staying relatively balanced, I genuinely think Overwatch remains one of the most unique multiplayer games out there. And there's really nothing else quite like it, and that's why I always come back to it. So those are my 5 things I love about Overwatch. I would love to hear what you guys love most about the game, because I know everyone enjoys Overwatch for different reasons. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like or drop a comment down below because it really helps support the channel. Thanks for watching.